Hey guys, and welcome back to the second video of creating a COVID 19 tracker website. So, in the last video, what we did was we created this text based interface for our COVID 19 website. As you can see, we have this really basic text based interface. And just to show you what we accomplished in the last video, I'll just run this and we'll show you what we managed to do. So, as you can see over here, we can enter the country. So if I enter any country, um, okay, that's something. I think there's some. Okay, let me just run it again. See what's the error. Alright. Okay, I don't know. I think I would have spelled something incorrectly. So as you can see, the new confirmed cases are this much. The new deaths are this, the total confirmed, and the total deaths. So we get that much. So that's pretty cool. Okay, so I'm back. I had a phone call, so that's why. Sorry for the quick detour. So that's what we had accomplished in our last video. So here I am again in my main.py file, and today we'll be actually creating the website for this. Now we have already a starter code in place, so we won't be writing like a ton of complicated code in this video. It will be pretty basic code. So I'm just going to comment out the print because it's a pretty long thing. So now I'll head on to my main.py file, and what I want you guys to do first is open up your terminal. You can open up any terminal. It's up to you, and you can actually do this in two ways if you are using PyCharm. So that's pretty cool. So what you want to do is just type out pip3 install Flask. Now if you are using Windows, you just want to type out pip, and if you are using Linux, then also you want to type out pip3 like me. Now I already have installed Flask, but in case if you are having a few issues with your pip, what you can also do is just click on file in PyCharm, and you want to click on new project settings and click on preferences for new project. Now you probably could also have it directly if you're on Windows, but I don't know. So once you are there, it will open up the Python interpreter. Now you want to check one important thing: which interpreter are you going to be using? So you want to click on the interpreter that you want. So in this case, I'm using my Python 3.6 interpreter, and then what you want to do is click on install, so plus, and you want to search for the package you want to install. So I want to install Flask, so I will just search for Flask, and once you just do that, just install it. Will have a install logo, just install it. So now we will actually write some code. So once you have done that, what I'll do is just type out from Flask import Flask. So that's a pretty basic thing. I'm expecting you to understand what that means. Then we will also need a few other kind of sub modules. We will need this thing called render template. So what render template will allow us to do is it will allow us to render HTML request. It will allow us to render HTML templates. So you will see what that means. And request will allow us to carry out some get and post requests and various other requests to our web browser and our actual Flask website. So you will see like what some of these things means. Like if I actually show you practically, then I think you will understand it a lot better. So now what we need to do is we need to set up our app. So set up the app. So we just type out app is equals to Flask, and then you just type out underscore name underscore. You just do that, and now you need to actually run your application. So to do that, we just type out, make another comment, running the app. So we just type out if underscore name underscore is equals to underscore main. Then what I want to do is I want to run the application, right? So we just type out if this is the case, if underscore name underscore is equals to underscore main underscore. You just want to type out app.run, and we just type out one another parameter called debug equals to true. Now one thing, this app that you are currently going to be running on will be on the 5000 port number, localhost 5000. Now here's the problem: in case if someone on the same Wi-Fi network is also developing and let's just say two of you, like you and someone in your family, is using Flask currently, and both of you are connected to the same Wi-Fi network, then there will be this issue where, since you will be running this on port 5000 and even that person will be running on port 5000, you will have to supply an additional argument to this called port, and then you will have to specify which port you want to run it on. So that will be something that you will need to do, and you will like, it will probably like show it over here when you will run your file that that is the case. So it will be pretty simple if such a thing happens. So now what we will do is we will create the main page of our website. To do that, we just make a function called main. You can just name it anything, and what we do is type out return render underscore template. And now the thing is, we could write inline HTML over here, like by just supplying these things, and we could pass in h1, but we know it will not be that good. So what we do is we just type out render template, and inside we pass in the name of a template. So we just type out index.html. Now the thing is, we currently don't have any file over here called index.html. So that's what we will do now. I will go over here, right click on new, and first you want to create a new directory. So do that, and you want to name it specifically templates. Do not name it anything else. I cannot if you do that, then your code won't work, and that's why. So just name it templates, do not name it anything else. So yeah, so once you do that, just click on enter, and you should have this folder called templates. And click on templates, click on new, click on HTML file called index, and there we go. So you will have your boilerplate HTML code ready to go. So I'll just zoom in a bit. As you can see now, I think you will be able to see everything a lot better. And you will, as you can see, we have this really basic boilerplate HTML code, and I'll just get rid of that over here. So now I'll just add the title of COVID-19 cases tracker. So that's the name of our application. You can just name it anything that you want. You can just change the title. I'm not going to be explaining you HTML. So now that you have returned the render template, now that you have returned the template, you actually need to say when do you want to actually return this template. You want to return this template when the user will route to the home page. So we just have app.route. So we decorate this function. So when there will be a route to the slash, so the directly the like the home page, you want to call the render template function. So you will see what happens. So if I go over, click on main, we had already edited the configurations in the last video. So now I'll just click on the run button, and you will see it will pop up a bunch of things. Now you don't need to be worried about it. You just want to see this thing, and you just want to click on that. And once you do that, it will open up your default browser for you. So okay, why is it taking so much of time? Like you if it does not, then you can just route to that page. Okay, apparently, oops, I'm just close these things. All right, so as you can see, it will open this on localhost 5000 port, and we have this thing called COVID-19 cases tracker. So we have like a boilerplate website code up and running now. So now what do we need in our website? First of all, I will just design some pretty basic front end. So first of all, what I will also do is I will go here and just specify a class for the body named as body. Now since we are using Python, you will see such auto completion, so that's pretty cool. So now what I will do is I will head on over here and provide a style tag. I will just say dot body and we want to specify a font hyphen family of now you can provide any font family, obviously, sans serif. Should I just tab it? So if I just save it and reload the page, okay, obviously nothing will pop up since we have not entered anything in our body. So we'll just add the center tag and h1 to go with it. I'm saying COVID-19 cases tracker. So if I will reload the page again, we get in sans serif written COVID-19 cases track. Awesome. So now that we have done this much, what we want to do now is we want to have a text input field where we can input the name of a country. So first of all, I will have a few line break tags. Now I'm very bad at HTML, so you will have to excuse me for that. I'll have this basic input tag, and we have to give this thing called name. Now, what the name will do is you will see in a second. So I'll just give it as country INP, and I'll also give it a class of country. You can give it a class of anything else, it won't really matter. And now what I'm simply going to do is copy that and head on up, and I will simply type of dot country INP, and I will specify some parameters for our country INP. Now that's actually pretty simple. So yeah, just a second, guys. I There's some issue with my recording. Okay, I'm so sorry for that. There was a crow actually. So that's alright, whatever. So now that we have country INP, we need to specify some of the parameters for our country INP. So what do we want? Well, we want a height. Now the height we will give it of 18. Actually, I think I'm gonna go with 25 pixels, and we'll also provide it a width of, I think we will go with 40%. 40%. And I will reload the page, and there we go. We have this country INP. So now what I will also do is go down, and I will give it one more thing called a placeholder. So we'll see what a placeholder does in a second. So I'll say enter country name. So now you have this kind of this thing where it prompts us that we need to enter our country name over here. Awesome. But now what we actually need to do is we need to wrap this whole thing inside of a form. The reason why we do that is because you will see in second that the form will actually be crucial for our website. So we'll have a form with a method, a method of post. So when the form is submitted, we will have a post request being sent to the server, and what I will simply do is I will paste my input that we had created, and I will simply shift tab it. Now you'll see what happens right now. Okay, so now if I just type out anything and I click on enter, I'm sorry, I first need to reload it. And now if I click enter, it will tell me method not allowed. The method is not allowed for the requested URL. Now why are we getting this? The reason why we are getting this is because if you head on to my main.py file, we haven't specifying which type of request can be sent from the backend. And currently if you don't specify anything, then it basically just takes it as a get request. So what you do is you simply go over here and just say methods, and you specify a list with the all of the valid methods that you want, that you like the front end can supply. So we have a get request and a post request. So you just specify those two methods. Now you need to specify a get request, because otherwise it won't work. You need to do that. And since we are also being sent a post request, sometimes when the form is sent, we also need to specify a post request. So now if we head on over here again and I reload the page again, and we again on our COVID-19 cases tracker, if I just type out anything and I click on enter, now the form is being submitted and our input field is getting cleared. And otherwise we were getting that method not allowed thing, but now we are not getting that error. So that's pretty cool. So now what we need to do is we need to grab our input name whenever the form is being submitted. Now that's actually fairly straightforward. So what we do is we just type out if we use the request thing that we had imported up top, dot method is equal to post. So if we are sending a post request, then what do we want to do? Well, we know that the only way that we can send a post request till now is if the form is being submitted. So we know that if there is a post request, that means someone has submitted the form. So what we do is we just type out print web page dot form, a pretty basic thing. And actually, I'm sorry, it will not be web page dot form, it will be request dot form. Alright, so I'll just, now what I will do is I will actually make this a bit bigger and go down. And if I just enter any country name like India, and you will see it says immutable dictionary, country INP is India. So that's pretty cool. So now we can get, so whatever if I enter, like even if I enter anything, you will see if I just go down, we are sending a post request. As you can see over here, it says on this time we are sending a post request. So we returned it. Awesome. So now what we want to do is we want to grab this immutable dictionary country INP. So it's actually also, even that is very very simple, you will understand how we do that. So what I will do is we just say web page is equals to request dot form, and then what we do is we want to grab that specific element from the web page. The way that we grab that is what we say is we can just say, what I will do is actually head on to my test.py file, head on a bit up, and you will say that we have this thing called the country name. So that's the way we will do it. So we just specify the country underscore name is equal to, we want to grab this, it should be a string, we know that, right? So it should be a string of the web page, and from that also we want to only and only grab, what do we want to grab? The country INP. So we grab the country INP. Awesome. So okay, now I'm having a few indentation errors, so I'll just indent this over here. Alright, so now what I will do is I actually print out the country name, do that. And if I just go up and if I enter anything, and if I just scroll down, you can see we have this. Awesome. So now what we want to do is we want to actually, on this country name, we want to call in API. So that's actually really, we have already written the code for that in the test.py file, so that's, we just need to copy paste that. So first of all, what I will also do is, okay, what just happened? Alright, so what I will do is I will just type out import requests, the thing that we had already imported over there in this file in the last video. Again, if you haven't seen, check it out. I will copy that, head on to my main.py file, and just below our country name I will paste all of that code that I had already written. And now I'll just check if my all of my indentation was correct, because Python usually screws me over in that thing. So now that we have done that, what I will do is let's just run this file and see if it is working. But first actually right now I don't think we'll need to do that. Okay, what just happened? Alright, whatever. So I will head on also to my PyCharm and make this a bit bigger, so we will be able to see it more nicely. And if I just write any actual country name like Japan, you will see it takes a second, and there we go. Awesome. So now what we need to do is we need to actually use this. So now what I will also do is just try out a few different countries. So let's try out something like Germany. Click on enter, and we say Germany. The name of the country is Germany, and total name and all of that stuff. Alright, so now what we need to do is we need to actually display this page, this things to the web browser, because that's one of the main reasons that we are creating this, that we are having this cool website. So how do we actually do that? Let's also, it's very simple, like I really don't have any other thing to say. So what I will do is literally I will get out of this form and I will add a few BR. Now the front end is completely up to you how you want to go about designing it. You can make it really bad and crappy, but you can also spend like 2 hours and make this really good with a sign-in page and things like that. But like I'm just going to take care of the main functionality. Yeah, so now I will put in a p tag, And what I will do is I will put in some inline Python into this. Now you cannot do that in a basic HTML file. You need to link it up with the Python file. Only then you can do that. So don't think that I can just do this in a basic HTML file. Okay, it's the same thing like JSX and React. If you don't know what that means, it's okay. So what I will have is the first thing that I will have is the new underscore cases. Let's say the new cases are that. Then I think I will also oops, then I will have a BR. Then I will have the new bets are new underscore bets. You'll see how this works in a second. Then I will have the new actually I'm sorry, the total cases are and the total deaths are total deaths. So now what we need to do is we need to display these variables with the help of a Python code, and it's also very easy. And first what we need to do is over here we need to specify a bunch of global variables. Now I know some people don't like the concept of global variables. They think it's like it just makes the code very bad. But in this case, I actually need to use global variables. I don't think there's any other option. Like unless and until you will be some Python pro, I don't think there's any other option. So I'll have country. I think I'll just need these variable names. I'm just going to copy paste these variable. So the country new confirmed, the country new deaths, the country total confirmed, and the country total deaths. That's all we need. So I'll have that, and country new confirmed is a blank string, and then the country new deaths will also be a blank string. We'll see how I'm doing this in a second. Like I'm just writing out the code, and then I'll show you like why we are doing that. This thing actually try doing this without a global variable. Write the code, it will work. Then what you want to do is you want to shut down your server, like your Python thing, and then you just try to do it again and you will face an error. So that's why, and like I've tried this a million times, and that's why I always face that error. So that's why we do this. So just do this and you will never face that error. So now once we are done doing that, what we need to do is we need to simply go up to our define main, and we just call in all of the globals of these variables that we have declared over here. So let's just go there. Then we have the continued deaths. So I'll get the continued deaths as the country total confirmed. So I will get the country total confirmed, and we have whatever this is, and we just put that, and I'll just make that over there like that. And now what we want to do is we want to display all of this stuff to the web page, and all we need to do is we need to go down to the return render template function, I'm sorry, whatever it is, and return statement, I'm sorry. So and what we need to do is we copy new cases, and we need to specify the variable for the new cases. What was it? Country new confirmed. So we click on country new confirmed, return that, and what else do we have over here? The new deaths. So the new deaths is equals to the country new deaths, and that will be where is it? The new deaths will be over here. What else do we have again? The total cases. The total cases will be here. Country total confirmed again, we know that. And the total deaths is equals to country total deaths. Okay, I'll just reload, save the file, and head on to my Google Chrome, put in any country name, click on enter. There we go. The new cases are 0, the new deaths are 0, the total cases are these many, and the total deaths are these many. So now if I enter any other country name, like which country should I enter? I know Australia was one of those countries. Australia, and there we go. Let's have something like United States of America, and there you go. The new cases are these many, the new deaths are these many, the total cases are these many, and the total deaths are these many. Awesome. So now that we have our website in place, I know it is not looking very good, it is looking very bad, but I don't care for the UI. I don't care for the design. I just care for the backend functionality, and we have all of our backend functionality in place already. So that's why. So yeah. So now what you can do is you can improve the look and the feel of the website by adding a lot of CSS. That's actually pretty simple, but I'm very bad at CSS, so that's why I'm not doing this. But you can see we are having our basic functionality, like, and just to like make this a bit better, what you could do is over here you could just add a little h3 tag. I think h3 will be good, and you could just add a slash h3 tag or something like that. If I just reload the page, so you can see now it is something like that, and I can just make h3s for all of these. h3 tag, h3 tag, and slash h3 h3 slash h3. Alright, so let me reload the page again, and there we go. So now it's looking a bit better, and you can obviously I just like to do it in this simple way. So let's try out a few other countries. Let me see if I can get the API. Alright, so it's a COVID-19 API, so let's see which all countries can be used easily. So as you can see, it's a really famous API. You can see there are 453,439. Let's see how many, if I can add a more extra request. Does it actually update? Okay, it does not. Whatever, I don't know. So if I can just view the documentation, and I can just get the summary real quick over here. And let's see some other countries. Country Australia, Azerbaijan. Let's see this one. Alright, as you can see, we have that country. Then we can have Argentina. Let's see that one. I know, like, the last country was Zambia, so I will try out the last country, Zambia. Okay, now let's just enter something stupid. Okay, so you just enter like something really stupid. It doesn't. Awesome. So actually, I think what I could do is actually it's okay. Whatever. So now that we have done that, that's pretty much for the website. It was a pretty simple thing, as you could see, not anything too complex, but as you can see, it's really cool. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, like and subscribe to the channel. I really enjoyed making this COVID-19 cases tracker. It was surely something really good, and like, you can actually deploy this. It can actually be, people can use it to see how much COVID has risen up, and yeah. So whatever. like I'll probably have a few more videos dedicated to like the coronavirus situation. I will see. Like I don't have a lot of ideas, but probably something like that. So yeah. So that's it for today, guys. I hope that you enjoyed the video. Comment down below if I could add a few like some more functionality. I will look into that. And yeah. So I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next video. And until that.